Welcome back to the Vintage Firearm series. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Winchester 190. Now, it's a 22 repeating semi-automatic rifle. Obviously made by Winchester. It has wood stocks on it. Okay. And I just picked it up yesterday, $100. Got some white paint or something underneath. Not bad. It's a tube feeder, of course, as you can see here. I don't know the condition of this. I looked at it, did a brief inspection, but that was it. The year of it, well, I believe Winchester made these from 1967 to 1990. Not as old as I normally try to look for, but it's interesting because you can pick up inexpensive guns. Now, I have a good relationship with my FFL, and sometimes he lets me know when he has some come in and gives me a good price on them because I've been known to buy a gun in my time. And so the tube feeder, it's nice. We'll see how it works. Got a little awkward thing right there. Other than that, I wouldn't mind throwing some lube on it. I haven't lubed this gun yet. I haven't done anything to it. It was in the batch that he had just received in this last week that he gets them traded in on a regular basis. And so, it does not take shorts, apparently. It says 22 long rifle. Now, somewhere else online, I did a quick search, and somewhere else online, it states that they do take shorts. So maybe the later ones did. This one very well could be an earlier one. Like I said, they started making them in 67 and 68. They needed a serial number. I don't know if we can look anything up with this serial number or not. Maybe before the video is over, I'll attempt to do that. Let's go set up our target outside, and we'll give it a run. We'll just see what this thing will do. Of course, we have open sights, so we'll see what we can do on those. We have a cross safety switch. Generally, it's in a good position. I can reach it pretty good. Kicking it off, you have to reach through the bottom, which is a little bit of a pain. That's why I like the ones inside. Everyone complains about those, but you can switch them on and off very easily. You just have to use some caution, as you would anytime you put your finger inside the trigger guard. I always say that if you put your finger inside the trigger guard and you're not ready to shoot, or something right along those lines, and then that is a terrible thing. You probably should give more consideration before you actually are around the firearm. But in any case, so if you were to push forward, that's not too likely that you're going to set off your gun. And if you push back, you push up and then back, and it should be completely safe. In any case, we're on safety now, or one would appear to be so. Yep. You've got a little, somewhere recently I saw one with a red dot on the outside, so you really couldn't tell if it was on or off, because wherever it was, it would be, it would have the red dot. In any case, let's head outside. We'll load it up with some LR, and because that's what we do most of our tests with. And should take about 15, would be my guess. And we'll go ahead and get a nice fresh target, and we'll be on our way. Okay, so here we are. We'll see if we can get set up here a little bit. Load up our tube. And so, sometimes I buy these just to show people that you don't have to spend a lot of money to enjoy the sport of firearms. Um, Nowadays, there's a lot of pressure to take down videos on YouTube because they have a gun in it or something like that, or they shouldn't allow kids to watch these. And the problem with that, of course, is that they watch videos all the time with people being murdered, and they participate in this in video games, where they go in and they kill 500 people in 30 seconds or 60 seconds, some crazy thing, and that's okay. But to be able to train somebody in the sport of firearms, that is not okay. So I have a problem with that. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. And there we go. Let's see. Now, I have no idea what's going to happen with this. Okay, I'll take it off its safety, adjust my glasses. What more could I ask for? Well, nothing there. So it would appear that the trigger mechanism is busted on this. Okay, so here we are 1 hour later. We have taken the trigger assembly all apart. I think didn't take it all apart, took it out of the gun, and it was caked with beach sand, best I could tell. I think the only way you could get that much beach sand in it is if it was buried. So anyways, I worked on an hour with it, used almost a whole container full of spray to try to get it out, and Q-tips and everything. I just fired off a couple shots. It seems to be quite functional now. So we're going to go ahead and fire off the rest of them down there and see what we got. You can see the smoke coming up because there's so much. I mean, I wiped off all the oil, but oops, that was a misfire. It did seem to work. It struck, so I don't think it's a problem with the gun. Now, one thing I will say about this trigger is that it's got a very late activation. So you got to pull it until you feel resistance. There's another. May not be quite striking hard enough yet. Okay, so we've had some problems, mostly pertaining to the sand, which now seems to be out of the, for the most part, out of the trigger assembly, but maybe some elsewhere, and it did cause a jam. So we're going to give it another run, see what happens, and then we'll finish up the video, and you know, whatever it is, that's what we'll, you know, I will get it working eventually, if it's not now. It's just a matter of time. Sight has a nice adjustment on the front. Okay, so here we go. Let's take off our, let's, okay. I guess it doesn't lock open when it's done. Let's go down and check out our target. I'll be right back. Okay, I would say overall, we have pretty good. Overall, we have pretty good groupings. These are just open sights. Let's look at it. You know, just that. You know, we need to make a little adjustment on the back side a little bit. Wouldn't take much. I think we could put them, the majority of them, in the bullseyes. So in any case, I think that's pretty good. Let's go back in and wrap it up and see what we got, okay? Okay, so that was the video for today, pretty much of it, but I have some couple of things I want to go ahead and talk about. First of all, we're going to talk very briefly about this gun, and then I'm going to show you a couple others that will be coming up soon. This gun, when you buy a gun, any gun, doesn't matter where you buy it, you know, there potentially could be a problem with it, and that's why it's for sale. Somebody took it into this gun shop. The gun shop had no way of knowing there was something wrong with it. They would have told me that. They're my friends. I buy a lot of guns off them, and they gave me a heck of a deal on it. So they're not going to really care if I buy it or not. I mean, not really. I mean, they like me, and they like to, you know, help me out, and I like to help them out, so it all works out. So what we had obviously was a lot of sand inside of this unit. Was it buried in the sand at some point? Almost seems like it. And all the problems that I was having with it were directly related to that. So, but it started to work more and more the more I shoot with it. I think what I should do is take it apart again, clean it again. I'd like to get one of those, I don't know what you call them, ultrasonics or whatever, where you can actually put parts in and it cleans them. But I don't know if that would, you know, maybe some high pressure. I have a compressor, but I'm missing my little valve where I can shoot air into it. That would be a wonderful thing to have for this. I'd like to clean out the bore a little bit to make sure that there's nothing in there. And in any case, I think it's basically a good gun. The target, as you saw, without giving it any real attention or knowing anything about it, if I was to go ahead and adjust the rear sight, I think it would be a great shot. But this is the gun this is not the gun that I went in there to pick up. Let me show you that gun, and let me show you another one that I was really surprised to see, and I'm looking forward to doing a video on both of those, really big time. First of all, this is another one that I picked up at the same time. It had also come in, somebody had sold it, they had no history on it. It's interesting enough. It's a Mossberg for anybody who is not familiar. Technically, I have never owned a Mossberg before. This is the first one. And I always said I would like to have one, but I would want one of the first. And I believe this could very well fall into that category. It is a non-serialized gun, which would mean that it was previous to 68. They came out with this gun somewhere around 61. And I know they had a military version. And the military was very critical. They wanted certain things. And one of the things they wanted was a very thick, heavy barrel. Now, is this a military version? It's been influenced by it. As soon as I picked this gun up, I was talking to one of the owners there who I know fairly well, and I enjoy conversations with him. And I said, this is a heavy gun. And then he had another Mossberg right beside it. And I picked up, I says, man, there's a massive difference. And then we're looking at the barrel, because this is a Magnum. Now, I don't know if all Magnums were this heavy or this. I'm looking at this barrel, and I'm going to tell you, it's one of the thickest I've ever seen in a shotgun. It may be the thickest. I was comparing it last night to a vintage Model 12 from the teens, and that barrel was skinny compared to this. This is massive, really is. So what's to say on it? It says 30-inch full choke Magnum, 3-inch Magnum chamber, 12 gauge made in the USA. So we know it's somewhere between 61 and through 67. We know that. That's a given. So in fact, there was a little varmint out this morning, and the only gun that I had handy that I felt comfortable with making sure that he was no longer going to chew on the wiring in our cars was this one. So I threw a couple of shots in it. It's still got the spacer in it, so that's all I could put in it. I could put one in the chamber and then reload it again, but going after a little guy like that, it really wasn't necessary. And so it was quite sufficient. It handled well, it performed well, it cycled well. It's a John Browning design. Yeah, I know he was dead for who knows how many years, 45 years or something, when they come out with this. But this is greatly influenced by John Browning. Okay? So I love it. I love the feel of it. It's just great. I don't know. It's a wooden stock, of course. And it's got this here, too. And I don't know whether somebody custom made it, but it's been sewn around. I don't think you can take it off without destroying it. And it's leather, so it's definitely going to stay on there. There's no question about that. But anyways, this is a future video. But the one I really wanted to see was the one that influenced this gun and so many others. There was one gun by John Browning that really started it all. And no, it wasn't the 97, but sort of. And it wasn't the Model 12, which was influenced by the 97. It was the Model 17 by Remington. I've been looking for a clean one of these for a long time. And it's a sweet gun. I've never had one in my hand. It's got everything. They really wanted a quality gun when they built this. Here's something I've talked about recently. How one screw, there's little marks, and you turn the one screw to the point where, and you put the second screw in, and it can't move. That's a sign of quality. That means, hey, we're really trying. We're trying to do something cool here. If you see that, I've never seen it. FN did that on the A5, by the way, in the early years, previous to around 1950 or 51, then they stopped. Was it important? Perhaps not really, but it did show that, hey, we care. So this gun, I ordered it online without seeing it other than pictures. But it looked awful nice, so I liked it, and I called up the guy, and he said, I can't believe it's still here. We keep on having somebody come by and look at it. But he says he wants to wait until he can find one like that in a 12 gauge. And the first thing is, what I said was, I will take it. It's a done deal. Okay, it's sold. But the second thing is, if he finds one in a 12 gauge, he's got something to talk about, because these were never made in a 12 gauge. They were only made in a 20. So maybe that's why they didn't sell as well as others. But so many guns were designed after this gun. They took the basic designs, including the Ithaca Model 37. Every shotgun out there practically made today. Every automatic has a charging handle by John Browning. That man was a genius, honestly was. In any case, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. I'm going to have to trim out some parts of it because it's going to be too long. But thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to the next videos coming up, including this one, the Mossberg. And I'm going to weigh that Mossberg. I'm going to tell you, I'm almost thinking about going out and getting a basic Mossberg just so I can tell you the difference in the weight, because it's going to be massive. But on the other hand, if you want to put 3-inch, Magnum shells in there of some capacity, that's a full choke. So you're not going to want to put slugs or anything like that through it. But if you wanted to put something heavy through it, you don't want a light gun. If you're shooting birdshot, you probably want a light gun. Okay, but if you're going to go ahead and put, buckshot or something like that through it, then you want a heavy gun, so I won't beat you up. Take it easy. I'll see you very, very soon. Or you'll see me. I always say I'll see you, but maybe not. Okay, but if you want to, I'll be here for you. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Sub on Rumble. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.